you to love me like I'm a
Fear is a tool. They think I'm hiding in the shadows, but I am the shadows. I'm vengeance.
Good morning, everybody. You are watching the Patriot Preaches. My name is Ashwant Achari. Today is August 5th, 2025. And today's going to be an amazing show. We're going to have a couple stories for you guys. There's like, we've got like four stories developing. As we know, last week we had Witkoff and envoys go to the GHF humanitarian aid centers. and they were checking out the aid sites, and they said these aid sites are not being adequately run. Right, they're being set up in places where the kids and the children are going to get shot, set up in military war zones. So the United States is actually going to step in, and they're going to help out. But the main issue is Trump is just in a chokehold. So the recent story was, let me see, what the hell? The story was, right, Trump said it's up to Israel, right? Occupying Gaza and the annexation of the Gaza Strip is up to Israel. And he was asked on Tuesday whether he supported a plan for Israel to escalate in Gaza with the goal of fully occupying the territory. And he said, quote unquote, it was pretty much up to Israel. Netanyahu covered a meeting of his senior officials on Tuesday, and according to the media, he favored a full Israeli military occupation of the Gaza, even if it meant the hostages were killed or severely injured. So this is the problem. He doesn't even care about his own people, right? He doesn't care about the the children or the women. He doesn't care about his own people. So you just know he's evil. You just know, like, look at this guy, bro. Like, and more Israeli reports said that Netanyahu had the green light from the Trump admin to launch a more aggressive military operation against Hamas in Gaza. Israel relies on U.S. military aid to sustain its genocidal war in Gaza, meaning it needs the U.S. backing to escalate. And when he was asked about the occupation plan, Trump also said the U.S. was trying to get people fed, and this is what I was talking about. The U.S. stepping in and getting involved with the GHF humanitarian aid sites. Right, quote, as far as the rest of it, I really can't say. That's going to be pretty much up to Israel, Trump said. Right, and Axios said the Trump admin is preparing to take over management of the aid distribution system in Gaza because the U.S. believes Israel isn't handling it adequately. Um, Officials didn't detail what exactly would entail, but there have been signs that the U.S. is just considering expanding the GHF. And one U.S. official told Axios that Trump is not thrilled about the plan, but that there doesn't seem to be another way. Although the UN and other aid groups that operate in Gaza are calling for Israel to lift all restrictions on aid and agree to a ceasefire, which they say is necessary to bring all relief to starving Palestinians in Gaza. And everyone is against this, literally the UK, France, everyone. And we have a story. It's Karim Khan's Israel war crimes probe. This is the guy who is accusing Netanyahu. He's a British lawyer, and he's accusing Netanyahu of committing war crimes. He's being derailed by threats, leaks, and sex claims. And this is a new story that happened about 20 hours ago. Right, a major Middle East Eye investigation has uncovered extraordinary details of an intensifying intimidation campaign targeting the British chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court over his investigation into the alleged Israeli war crimes. Right, the campaign involved threats and warnings directed at Karim Khan by prominent figures, close colleagues, and family friends briefing against him. Fears for the prosecutor's safety prompted by Mossad team in The Hague and the media leaks about sexual assault allegations. So this is similar to Tate. You know how Tate gets every like 3 to 4 months he gets charged with sexual assault, incident. So I mean, this should be fake. I mean, this guy doesn't. I don't. He doesn't looks like a pretty moral guy. I don't think he's gonna be doing that stuff. It has taken place against the backdrop of Khan's effort to build and pursue a case against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli officials over their conduct of war against Hamas in Gaza and accelerating Israeli settlement expansion and violence against Palestinians illegally occupied in the West Bank. Right, last month, Middle East Eye revealed Khan was warned in May that if the arrest warrants issued last year for Netanyahu and his former defense minister, Yoav Gallant, were not withdrawn, he and the ICC would be destroyed. Right. The warning was delivered by Nicholas Kaufman, a British Israeli defense lawyer at the court, during a meeting with Khan and his wife, Shyamala Alejandra, at a hotel in The Hague. Kaufman told Khan he had spoken to Netanyahu's legal advisor and was authorized to make him a proposal that would allow Khan to climb down the tree, according to a note meeting on a file at the ICC seen by MEE. Right, Kaufman denied threatening Khan. He denied having authorized to make any proposals on behalf of the Israeli government, and he had said and he had said he shared his personal views with Khan on the Palestine situation. And the meeting came less than 2 weeks before allegations of sexual assault against Khan, which he has strenuously denied, were first published, and he was reportedly preparing to seek arrest warrants for more members of the Israeli government. There is no suggestion of any connection between the Kaufman-Khan meeting and the publication of the allegations. Khan went on to leave shortly afterwards after an attempt to suspend him, prompted by senior members of his own office, failed and amid the ongoing United Nations investigation into the allegations against him. Intense pressure on the prosecutor had been building even before Khan became the subject of the now widely known publicized allegations. Right, the MEE can reveal details about a correspondence between Khan and the compliant, a female ICC staff member, which appears to raise questions about some of the previously reported claims about the case in American and British media. Right, Khan has declined to comment to MEE on the matters raised in the article. The timeline of events reveal that the pressure on Khan started to build up in April 2024 as he prepared to apply for the warrants for Netanyahu and Gallant, and then October, before judges issued the warrants. It has intensified further this year as Khan was reported to be seeking warrants for more Israeli ministers and coinciding with further media leaks about sexual assault allegations. And MEE's investigation can reveal that in April 2024, weeks before Khan applied for the warrants for Netanyahu and Gallant, then British Foreign Secretary David Cameron privately threatened Khan that the UK would defund and withdraw from the ICC if it was issued warrants for Israeli leaders. Right, fast forward to May 2024, U.S. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham threatened Khan with sanctions if he applied for the warrants. And before the allegations were made, Khan had received a security briefing that indicated that Mossad's was active in The Hague and posed a potential threat to the prosecutor. Right, the campaign against Khan has taken place in parallel with both punitive and hostile measures taken against by the ICC, by the United States, and the allegations of sexual misconduct against the chief prosecutor was started as accusations of harassment, but later escalated to accusations of sexual assault. And since February, Khan has been sanctioned by the U.S. government, which, like Israel, does not recognize jurisdiction of the ICC over the arrest warrants issued against Netanyahu and Gallant. So this whole thing is happening because he's trying to get them charged for a war crime, trying to get Netanyahu and his people charged. But they know it's true, so they're going to try to fight back. And the way they fight back is the way the Matrix fight back against Tate. They throw a sexual assault charge at him, even if he didn't do it. It's very unlikely that he did it. You know the charge, right, Amber? Like the classic charge. You know, they throw at Tate, they throw at, some girl like drinks a lot and then she regrets, doing the deed. And she's like, "Oh, he did this to me. Oh." No, you were just drunk and you lost consciousness and then you just regretted it. Right, so that's what they're doing to this guy. Right, anyways, I had to talk to somebody real quick. I'm back. Uh, alright, yeah. He visited the kibbutzim and the site of a music festival, which were attacked by Hamas. October 7th in Ramallah, Khan met officials including Palestinian Authority, President Mahmoud Abbas, as well as the families of Palestinian victims, and heard personal accounts of their experiences in Gaza and the West Bank. Khan pledged that his office would further intensify its efforts to advance its investigations in relation to the situation. Having decided in January 2024 he had prepared the cases for arrest warrants, Khan took the unusual step of convening an independent legal panel of prominent lawyers, including British Lebanese lawyer Amal Clooney, to examine the Palestine case. A number of media reports have suggested that Khan has sought arrest warrants on May 20th, right, to win support in the context of allegations against him, but the prosecutor's decision to apply for warrants was made 6 weeks before the allegations were made, and the application for the warrants was submitted only after the first internal investigation into the harassment accusations that had been opened and closed. Right, and then they were just throwing a series of threats at this guy, Khan. The prosecutor told British Justice Minister Alex Chalk that he would apply for the warrants. Khan had asked to meet the Foreign Secretary David Cameron, but Cameron was out of the country. Cameron, a former prime minister who had been appointed for foreign secretary in November 2023, phoned Khan while the prosecutor was an official visit to Venezuela on April 23rd. Right, in May, right, near the beginning of May, Khan received another significant threat during a conference call with the senior ICC officials, Senator Lindsey Graham, and a bipartisan group of senators. Right, he added that the ICC was made for Africa and thugs like Putin, not democracies like Israel. And it keeps going on and on. So I mean, this guy's getting a lot of backlash for trying to charge these charge the prime minister with a war crime, and he's fighting an uphill battle. And you're seeing how much power these guys really do have. This lobby really does have. I mean, this lobby really wields a tremendous amount of power. A lot of people are waking up. I see on TikTok people are like, "Oh yeah, the Middle East hates us because of our support for Israel," and it's like, yeah, you guys are getting it now. Everyone's starting to wake up. People are starting to use their brains. So red pill's mainstream. That's good. And yeah, we're gonna get into the third story. Third story is actually kind of affects me in a way. I don't know how if this show is gonna affect me. Hopefully it doesn't, but I'm not saying anything too insane. I'm just reiterating a lot of other people's talking points, and I'm just trying to spread the message. But Trump amps on Obama strategy to crack down on colleges, and colleges are utilizing a new tactic to crack down on anti-Semitic claims on campuses. And this is similar to what Obama did, right? He pushed universities to build new bureaucracies to address sexual misconduct, right? And to show that they are serious about stamping out campus anti-Semitism, some of the nation's top universities are adding powerful positions to their administrative ranks. Right, the position has a modest-sounding title VI coordinator. The responsibilities, however, are significant to oversee and ensure compliance with the Title VI of Civil Rights Act. This prohibits the discrimination of federally funded programs on the ground of race, color, or national origin, and also covers Jews, Arab Muslims, and other religious groups. Columbia, Pennsylvania, New York University, and Harvard all accused by the Trump admin of having anti-Semitism and failing to protect Jewish students from harassment, and have recently added the job to their administrative rosters. Right? Some legal scholars and academics say that the new job could complicate the worthy goal of stopping harassment of Jews on college campuses, and they point somewhat unexpectedly to what they say is a cautionary tale of swollen academic bureaucracy and adverse outcomes. President Barack Obama's efforts to prevent campus sexual assault under Title IX, which prohibits discrimination based on sex. Yeah, the Obama approach to the Title IX was similar to what government agencies have done for decades to implement their agendas on issues from the environment to highway safety, right, and to funnel them into colleges, universities, so that the children do not become indoctrinated with the propaganda that they're not aligned with. The government uses its leverage as a holder of the purse strings to ask its beneficiaries to do something new. The beneficiaries comply, then they get their money. And Trump is going to withhold money from Columbia and Penn, right? And this is why Penn and Columbia just gave in, and they agreed to building anti-Semitism programs. because without the money, they're not going to be able to operate. They're just not. Um, After Trump took over in January, the Education Department's Office of Civil Rights warned 60 universities that they were under investigation for possible Title VI violations and started to cancel grants and other funding at several of them. Right, and as I talked about, settlements like Columbia and Brown have agreed to pay huge fines while also creating policies intended to make Jewish students feel protected. Some legal experts have said that Mr. Trump lacks the authority to take away funding that has already been promised, and Harvard sued the Trump admin to unfreeze 2.2 billion dollars in federal research money, calling the seizure unconstitutional and quote unquote flatly unlawful. Quote, its dispute with the government remains unsolved. The Education Department in a statement said that by enforcing the law, the Trump admin was using its personnel and resources responsibly and eliminating wasteful and unfounded investigations. Right, and we have Catherine E. Lamon, who oversaw civil rights for the Education Department during the Obama and Biden admins, said that the Trump admin could not speed up the defunding process unilaterally. Maybe it should be corrected, but you should go to Congress to do that, said Mrs. Lamon. And she now runs an Institute on Democracy and the Law at the University of California, Berkeley. Right. As universities reset their codes of conduct to comply with the Trump admin, they could be forced into an uncomfortable and legally thorny role of regulating speech on one of the most combustible political issues of the day. On many campuses, debates over the Israeli-Palestine conflict are practically unavoidable. Both inside and outside the classroom, Mr. Gerson from Harvard Law said that colleges could find their tasks unimaginable. Quote unquote, there's suddenly a whole domain of things that you're not allowed to say or scared to do, and the university has to investigate or punish. He said the classroom is not an exception, so things said in class and even reading assignments are alleged to be potential violations of Title VI. These critiques do not especially concern Mr. Marcus, who helped toughen Title VI. There is such a thing as excessive self censorship, he said. On the other hand, it isn't necessarily a bad thing if some professors stop to think before they speak and realize that intentionally or not, they may be contributing to the anti Semitism problems on their campuses. And some people take it to another level, right? Anti Semitism, but anti Semitism is not what we are. The people, the movement is not preaching. We are preaching to not be dictated by Israel's foreign policy. We're not pushing for the hatred of Jews. We don't hate anyone. We love everyone. We're America first. We're patriots. We love everybody. You can be an American Jew. We'll love you. It doesn't matter, right? The problem is when you have a dual citizenship and you're putting Israel first and you're actually, starting wars. You're starting the Second Lebanon War, if you remember, 2006, Second Lebanon War. Right? The problem was we were attacking. Israel was actually attacking Hamas in civilian areas. And this was the critique, right? They were attacking in villages. They were attacking Hamas in schools, education systems, hospitals, right? So they were utilizing Hamas to justify killing civilians as well, and that's where they went wrong. And that's why they hate us, because we attack them, right? And anti-Semitism thing is, that's what Charlie Kirk labeled. Like he literally pulled that up right as soon as they talked about